Hi, welcome back. I'm Chris Adams. I'm going to talk about perfect fourths tuning, part 7, where we're going to play the major scale horizontally across the neck and then vertically up all the modes using 3 notes per string. So in other videos, I've gone over how to play 3 notes per string patterns diagonally shifting up. This is going to be going this way across the neck, one kind of block at a time, one 3-note grouping at a time. And then you get to see how the patterns, because we're in perfect fourths tuning, how the patterns kind of wrap around the neck, kind of like a barber pole, and they repeat all the way without the extra confusion of breaking the pattern apart at the B string shift. So perfect tuning is where you can perfect fourths tuning is where you are tuning across at the 5th fret, like we always have done. And then on this guitar, I tune the C and F up. So instead of being B on the B string here, B, this becomes a C string and the F string. And in order to do this, I use very light strings. These are 8s, so they feel kind of like 9s, but they're tuned a little bit higher. Most of the time, and especially on different like Stratocaster, are always tuned down to get that you gain a note and it sounds cooler. It's on a Stratocaster, and it sounds cooler in general. But anyway, there's a link to PDF describing this in the description. Okay, again, to review, a major scale is set up there's half step intervals and whole step intervals to build the whole thing. Okay, so when we play, we have half steps between the E and F and the B and C. And then on the guitar, we have the C. So we have E and F and the B and C. And in our in the patterns that I've gone over in detail in other videos, we have the whole step pattern of fingering, and then the half step whole step pattern of fingering, and then the whole step half step fingering. Okay, and because we're in fourths, the notes are consistently, when you shift to the next string, you're getting the half step interval. Let me explain a different way. So when we're playing three frets together, these 3 notes, we're seeing whole step, and then the next one's a half step. See how there's no black key there? So whole step, and we get our half step here. So on the guitar, when we're playing that note on the guitar, or the series of notes, right? We're going to start on C, which is on the 8th fret. So we're going to 8, 10, 12. And then when you go to a fourth away on our F note, the difference between the 12th fret and the 8th fret is a half step. So we're doing these notes here when we shift strings. But pattern wise, we're doing whole steps and then whole steps again. So that makes it easier for us guitar guys to go with the same finger pattern. And we move between the string sets. So we'll get more into details, just something I wanted to point out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly flow through them in backwards. I'm going to go through the different modes all the way up the neck this way, and then that'll be it. But I'm going to be going across, and you'll see that I'm just using the same patterns as we go. Okay? So again, this diagram here is maybe how you're used to seeing it in a guitar book, maybe. So low strings to high strings. And this one here matches what I'm playing. So starting here and going that way. So let's begin. So to play the Ionian mode, 3 notes per string, we're going to start at the C. So we get, in the diagram I colored the root note black, and then no particular reason, just makes it easy to see. And then the different notes have different colors. There's not that much difference between they are all different colors, but I'm working on my color coding, but each note is the same color as it repeats. Anyway, so in this, starting with Ionian, we have we'll call it the 5 fret pattern. You got to stretch your fingers a little bit, and then we're going to switch to the half step, whole step. Let's see what's going on here. My cat's knocking over the trash. So be half step, whole step, and then this is a whole step from here to here, and then half step, whole step, and then. So I'll do it again. So I'm starting here. I'll play it a little bit smoother, faster. Okay, play this super smooth. Like this is again, like all this content here, I just use that word that I don't care for, but most of the content that I've been putting out has, it's just to kind of relearn the shapes and get the shapes into your hands. And then when you have the shapes, you'll be able to go faster, and you can apply other speed techniques. But what I found with myself as a, go back to talking mode, what I found myself as a, deciding really to relearn guitar again. I've played a lot throughout my life, but really just started to break it down to the first principles thinking. And I was like, okay, one of the reasons why I don't play as fast as I want to, is because I don't know what to play. So even if I do like the thing where I'm really moving my fingers fast, I'm like, then what? So then I decide, well, I have to really learn the fingerboard. So this is the way I'm going to do it. And Perfect Force makes it way easier to learn. And it's kind of an infinite amount of stuff to learn anyway. So anyway, so now I'm just going to kind of cruise up the modes, up the fretboard, and you'll see the patterns going just with these 3 pattern types only. So this whole step, we're gonna see that repeating, and we're gonna see the half step, whole step repeating, and a whole step, half step repeating. And we'll see how it goes across the neck. And when you practice these, just take your time and do it for a couple of months slowly, and just pay attention to the pattern, and then you'll get the pattern in your brain, you get the pattern in your hands, you'll be able to work on it. So next up, we're going to start on the D. We're going to go with the Dorian. So this one has a little bit of a slight change. We're still doing 3 notes per string. We're still getting the same ones. But the pattern that was here actually goes here. It's wrapping around. So if we see on the lower one, you can see it a little bit plainer. So the note that starts on the 9th fret, this is an octave lower. So that's one thing that's kind of odd about Perfect Force. In regular tuning, that's the same note, right? But now we're down a fret, so we're moving it down. So that's one way to think about it. It's not that intuitive to think about it, but it's what's happening. So you're taking the top octave on your 6th string, and you're kind of starting again on your D note here. So without further ado, so we're going to go starting on D. So D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and we're back. That's part of our major scale, but we can play. Now this is where all 3 of the whole step patterns happen together. So we're going to have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So that's in your fingers, it's all together on the fingerboard. And I'll finish this up, and then we'll go back and discuss this a little bit more. So we have the whole step pattern, and then the half step whole step pattern. So that's a Dorian. That's starting in the Dorian mode. So let's talk a little bit about this, because this is the first time now we're getting out of the Ionian on a 6-string pattern guitar. What's going on here? So when we started in the previous, in Ionian, we start on the root note, and we're playing these in a group like this, where we're going. So we have the whole note pattern with the two black notes in between. But on the keyboard, you can see there's one more place where we can do that, and that's the next fret up. Another thing, the thing that you see about this is if you think about terms of 1, 4, 5, the 1 is C, the 4 is F, and the 5 is G. So if you're not that familiar with that concept, it's that, you know. So it's kind of interesting that we have the whole step pattern on the fingerboard as our 1, our 4, and our 5. Our 5 also is down here. So this is why we see this shape here. So when we start on our C note and we go up an octave, we have that same pattern. But here. We have, but we also have the C, D, E, F, G, A. Whoops, did I do that right? Yeah. Then we also have G, A, B, C. It's the same pattern. It's here. It's this one. Okay? So that, you know, think about, if that's not really clear to you right now, it maybe will be soon. So that's when we have this grouping of 3. On the piano, you're shifting all over the place, but on the guitar, they're right next to each other. On the perfect force guitar, they're right next to each other. And then the last notes that clean it up are up here. Anyway, that's another way down there. So now I'll play the Dorian more smoothly, so you can maybe hear it more and feel it more. So that we're going to start on the 10th fret here. Okay, so that's the Dorian. Now we're going to go up to the Phrygian, which is the next note up. We're going to start on the 12th fret, and something kind of cool about the perfect force tuning is that you have these some kind of cool sounds. You can see in this particular mode, you can see the fourths kind of stack up. So we're starting on the 12th fret, and we're going to play higher. So you can see E, A, D, G, C, F. Anyway, this is kind of a thing. So that again, this just I don't want to dwell on this too much because it's not that intuitive. But we're taking the same notes that we ended up with over here, and we're starting down here. This is an octave here. So anyway, so we're going to start Phrygian. So it's the third note of the scale. So if we go C, D, E, we're going to start on E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, whoops, C, D, E, F, G, A. So here's our 3 pattern again, 3 of 2. It's the same as, whoops, it's an octave higher. So that's a way where you're holding the same finger shape and connecting it diagonally across, which you can see here. I'm not really going to go into it. So I'll now play the Phrygian. I'll play it more smoothly so you can hear it. Follow along with the notes here. So this is our half step, whole step pattern, and whole step, half step, and whole step pattern. Whole step, whole step. I'll play it again. So you can work on getting a nice clean tone. This is not the friendliest tone to work on, so it's good because if you hit any clams, you'll hear it right away. Okay, so that's a Phrygian pattern. Lydian pattern, starting on the 4th part of it, part of the scale. So if we're back here, back on the, we're showing it here. It's got that raised 4th feeling, but for now we're going to keep focusing on our pattern. So we're going to go on the 13th, starting on the 13th fret. We're going to have one round of our whole step, and then we're going to start, and then we're going to move to the half whole pattern and the whole half pattern, and then we're back on to the whole pattern. And then, whoops. So here we go. I'll play it more cleanly and slowly so that in this pattern you can see the tritones coming across, because from the root note of the Lydian pattern you have the tritone away, and it's the Lydian and Locrian that share that. And you can see that right across on the, over here, right across from, I'm still getting used to my hands, F, B, F, B, F, B, in this kind of green-orange pattern. So depending on what kind of music you like, you might completely avoid that, or you might really lean into it. But anyway, so you can see the patterns again. Kind of like a broken record about this, but with the 4ths, these patterns like jump out at you. If we were standard tuning, this pattern would be kind of split, and you wouldn't see the 4ths going across, the B, E, A, D, G, and you wouldn't see the tritones going across like this. So perfect 4ths to win again. So here we go. On the 13th fret, I'm just going to play this through cleanly and steadily. Here we go, Lydian mode. So starting on the F. Okay, next, Mixolydian. We're starting to probably kind of get it by now. So there's, oh, I missed, okay, there's a G note missing here, but just fill it in. Well, I just moved my mouse, you won't see it. But on that side, it's correct. So here we go. 15th fret. We're going to start on the G and the Mixolydian. Whoops. I need to practice up this high. This is unfamiliar territory to me on the neck, so I got to keep practicing. So here we go. One more time. Okay, Mixolydian, and of course with any of these you can do your up thirds. Just for now, just do them. Take a couple of weeks and just do these all the way up and down, and you will thank yourself. There's a quote that I really like that's attributed to. I've had it attributed to Bill Gates, and he says you overestimate what you can do in a year, and you underestimate what you can do in a decade. So it's always something to keep in mind. Like you might overestimate what you can do in a month, but underestimate what you can do in a year, and that really applies to this kind of homework, practice, where if you take your time and you play these patterns, you're like, man, that's kind of boring. I'm not getting anything out of it. You do it for a month, every day, just a half-hour day, just relax, chill out, clear your brain, put on a distortion or a delay or something to make it a little bit more interesting sounding. And then after doing that, you'll start picking it up. It's like, oh, wow, now it's in my fingers. So now I can follow some more of the maybe advanced lessons that I've wanted to get to, or advanced sounds, because I don't have to wonder what it's going to sound like. My fingers know what it sounds like. So anyway, a couple more. Mixolydian, and then we're going to go to Aeolian. And we'll see, I'm going to probably hit a lot of clams here, but I'm going to go for it. So again, the same idea. So we're noticing now as we've traversed up the neck, that we're seeing these patterns repeat. So here we are back at the Aeolian. We're going to start at the 17th fret, 12, 13, 15, 17. Oh, we're going to run out of frets. What's going on here? Wait a minute. 12, 13, 15, 17. Yeah, I want 21 frets. I'm going for it. What was I saying? Oh. We're back at the whole step, half step. Is that right? What's wrong here? Oh, sorry. I was trying to start on the 19th fret. I was starting on the 17th fret, so I do have room. So we're back. In another video, I started down here where it was a little easier, but now I'm going to start again. So Aeolian mode. And you can see the pattern. I don't have to repeat myself again to say it. But here I'll go. I'll play through it so you can watch me do this. Okay, so we have the whole half, whole, and then half whole patterns. And if you have a 7-string guitar, you'll see them repeated like the second time. Anyway, for Locrian, I'm going to run out of frets going this way, so I'm going to go back and start on the 7th fret. So our major scale's on the 8th fret. For Locrian, I'm going to start down here. So we're going to go B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so we made it. So that's the whole thing. We played the whole scale. So this kind of jangle jumble of notes, we just cover the whole thing with playing three patterns, three finger patterns. So it's one of many things that's simple but not really all that easy. But if you take your time and keep the simple stuff, you'll get this really work this into your mind. So thanks for getting this far. My book's over here. This content is mostly from the book to the left, the transitioning book from standard tuning to perfect fourths tuning. And my next book goes really into detail with triads. It's kind of like almost a meme these days to work on triads. But there's a lot of combinations, even on perfect fourths tuning. There's a lot of different ways to play it, so we'll get into that. Thanks for sticking around. This is my website that puts all this out, Taurus Head Studios. We've got a lot of guitar stuff coming. Thanks for sticking around. Have a great day.